Hello, this is your over-opinionated hockey fan coming to you February 27th, 2023. This is just my opinions on what's happening with the Oilers today. There's only three things that I can think of that is possibly plaguing the Oilers. We know laziness and not being able to keep up with the flow of the hockey game when there's a lull on. Most of the time, their rivals score first in the first period or second period, whatever behind. But it's always the first goal goes to the other team, and then the Oilers rally and come back. And then they as soon as they're even or ahead, they slack off, and then the other team goes back. And then it's like this, vice versa, right up until the and they're always depending on the forwards coming back and bailing them out. And then the forwards are supposed to turn around and rush up the ice and score. And whenever they don't have all that energy, is when the Oilers fail. I don't understand what's going on with the Oilers right now. Either, like, first off, we think about Ken Holland. He's sitting there looking for a budget move to be able to get a depth forward or a depth defenseman or a goalie, whatever. He's always looking for the best deal, and he's willing to wait until the very end to get it. Funny thing is while he's waiting, a lot of his choices are getting snatched up from other teams because there's radio silence from the Oilers, or damn near radio silence from the Oilers. A lot of teams don't want to go to the Oilers because they see what's going on the bench. Connor McDavid gets frustrated, pissed off. You could see it when he's on the ice and he's out there doing his utmost best to get a goal, and half the rest of the line or the team is just nonchalantly skating it around, flip it into center right at an offensive player's stick, and they skate back in, and a lot of those times that turns into goals. So then he has to work harder to try to get a goal, try to rally his team. He is the captain of the team, but it's very hard to be a captain of a team that doesn't want to actually play. They're more worried about getting home after the game to go play PS5 or go see their loved ones or whatever. And why do you think they do so much better on the road than they do at home? Because they have more distractions at home than they do on the road. Of course, I'm not making excuses for why he's upset and stuff, but what do you expect? Why is it so hard to get a win at home? And now we play Boston at home. Edmonton usually does better against the bigger teams because the defense realize that if they slack off, they're done for. But for some reason, they walk into the Blue Jackets, which is the team last in the league. They just walk in and they think it's just going to be a cakewalk. Next thing you know, it's 4-0 for them. And then McDavid and the offense, they muster up their energy, and boom, they bring it back. 4-4, boom, within less than a period. Then they come out in the third period. Defense is sitting in hammocks in the corner and not playing the damn game. Boom, it's 6-4. And then they get a late goal. Edmonton come back, gets a late goal, and they're screwed because there's only 1 minute and 33 seconds left in the game. Like, all they had to do was just actually put a full 60-minute effort. I'm not saying all the Oilers, because what do you expect them to do? They're supposed to go out and score and then come back at breakneck speed and try to bail out the defense because the defense can't seem to defend in front of their own net. There is certain exemptions, of course. I'd say 4 of the 6 defensemen are quite capable of defending. There's 2 defensemen always, and there always seems to switch up. But there's 2 defensemen that typically, and you know who I'm talking about. There's 2 defensemen that typically screw up, are bad at clearing the zone, are bad at flipping the puck just the right amount of pressure, so then you're not getting an icing, but not flipping it right at the opposing team's players. or flipping it out over the boards and creating a penalty. Like, Edmonton has to do better. The only other option I can possibly think of is that the Oilers are purposely tanking, forcing Holland to make a move. Holland's more worried about getting a budget deal at the last moment than actually fixing what's wrong with the Oilers. He figures he can do both at the same time. If you want to go budget, go to Walmart. If you want a team that's going to win, pull the trigger early, not at the last moment. Like, I don't understand I understand you're under a cap situation and stuff, but you have the players in front of you that you know who's producing, who is not. You know who's trending good, who's trending bad. Get rid of those ones that aren't doing their fair share. Put somebody in and trade somebody that seems that actually wants to do something this year. Yes, we have a couple star players that you were talking to, or this is from what we hear. You're talking to certain players, but they don't want to go to Edmonton. All right, fine. They don't want to go to Edmonton. On to the next. There was, 3, 4 defensemen alone that were on teams that were not going to make the playoffs. They're willing to deal them away for some draft picks and stuff. Your draft picks aren't going to mean crap when suddenly McDavid and Draisaitl and Hyman decide, and Kane all decide that they're going to take off as soon as their contracts are done. What are those draft picks going to do for you then? You think you're going to find another McDavid in the rough? No. McDavid is a once in a generational player. He's going to move on to like Toronto or something, and Toronto is going to know how to appreciate what they have, especially if they manage to keep a lot of the other star players there. Can you imagine a McDavid to Matthews to Marner for goals and pick up a couple of the defense from other teams like they have lately? You think anybody's going to be able to take them on? No. But you're just going to sit there worried about a draft pick. Oh, I don't want to give away my first draft pick for 2025. It's like, what the heck is it going to be good for you right now anyways? You're looking long term when your players are in the prime, or your best players are in the prime of their career. And they're going to get tired of failing. And it's not being them. It's their general manager that's failing them. Not their play. So smarten up. That's all I have to say about this. This is your over-opinionated hockey fan signing off. Bye-bye.